Welcome back, agents. Dewey J here, in the field this time, but we're not using the Prime scanner. We're not even looking at Intel. We're looking at a companion piece, a program called ICalc, the Ingress Calculator. It's available for your iPhone or your Android. You can get it out of the Play Store. It is kind of older. You notice if you're looking at the screen for the home, and it's 2013, so I think the last time that it had been updated would have been around 2016, 2015. So you might see some older terminology for some of the things that are available in Ingress, but for the most part, it still holds true with all the calculations that it can do. So most of the things that you want to figure out in Ingress, like how many times I can hack a portal or how far can I throw from a portal, deal with mathematical formula, and you can figure out those formula and you can do the math, but why bother to do all the work when Ingress Calculator, ICalc, can do it for you? So it's a really good planning tool that you can use before you do things like set up a farm or do some microfielding, or you're going to throw links and you're going to be by yourself. It will give you that information before. And again, you'll probably want to check it to make sure that it's right, but for the most part, for what I see, it's pretty darn close. So it has a number of things that you can look at. Let's look at hack first. So it tells you right away that if you have a portal that you're hacking, you get 4 hacks, one every 5 minutes, and you're going to burn out that portal in 15 minutes. So you hit it 4 times in 15 minutes and go away. You can change that by putting on mods. So one of the mods you can put on is heat sinks. So let's put on a common heat sink. So you notice that it changed that from 4 hacks at 5 minutes to 4 hacks at 4 minutes. So it took a minute off of the cooldown period just by putting on that common heat sink. Rare heat sink gets it down to 230. Now let's put on a very rare heat sink, 1 minute and 30 seconds between hacks. So I haven't changed the number of hacks that I can do, but it's going to take me less time to do it. So I can do the 4 hacks in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And again, this is talking about in regular time. So it's not something that there's COVID going on and they're giving you less cooldown time. All this can change. This is your regular time. But I haven't changed the number of hacks. To do the number of hacks, what I'd have to do is use a multi-hack. So let's throw on a multi-hack common. So it goes from 4 to 8 hacks. So it increases the number of hacks that I can do. Put on a rare, I go to 12 hacks, and I put on a very rare. Now I'm up to 16 hacks at 1 minute and 30 seconds between each hack. I can be done in 22 minutes and 30 seconds. That's one agent. Again, regular time, you can put in 2 mods. Now, it doesn't look at restrictions for the number of agents and how many mods you can put on. So let's assume that maybe we've got 2 agents, and we're going to put on 2 very rare heat sinks and 2 very rare multi-hacks. So this is probably about the best that you can do. 22 hacks at 58 seconds cooldown time, 58 seconds between, burn out in 20 minutes and 18 seconds. So realistically, I can get 22 hacks in 21 minutes. And again, if I have a couple of agents that are doing that, we can generate a lot of gear, especially if we put a fracker on there and we go after it. So that'll give you an idea of how you can build different portals for like a farm, or if I only have certain types of mods, what would be best. So if I'm looking at a very rare heat sink, and maybe I think, well, what happens if I throw on another very rare heat sink? I go down to 58 seconds as opposed to one. I'm at minute 30, so I'm at 30 seconds. Is it worth burning that very rare heat sink to save 30 seconds cooldown time each time? AP, there's 2 ways that you generate AP. That you can do it by destroying, which is offensive, or deploying, Well, deploying is offensive, destroying is defensive, but you destroy or you deploy. So let's look at destroying first. So if you're looking at destroying resonators, you get 75 AP for each one that you destroy. If there's a link in there and you take that link down, that's 187 AP for each link you destroy. And if you drop a field, it's 750 AP for each one of those fields. So you can see there'd be a lot of calculations to figure out how much AP I would get out of maybe taking out a portal that has all 8 resonators, 2 links, and 1 field. You'd have to do a lot of work. This will do it for you. So we'll go in and we'll say there's 8 resonators. So I'm going to get 600 for killing those 8 resonators. And there's 2 links, so I'm going to drop the 2 links. So now I'm up to 974 AP. And I'm going to take out 1 field. So if I take out that 1 portal, 2 links, 1 field, I get 1,724 AP. And that's for destroying. You actually make more by deploying. So if you look at the deploying stuff, you'll notice that it says resonators deployed 125 AP. It's got a little asterisk because you get 500 AP for the first one you put on, and you get 250 for the last one you put on. So if I just put on 1 resonator, there's my 625. I get 500 bonus and the 125. If I throw on all 8, I get the 125 apiece, the 500 for the first, and 250 for the end, 1,750 for just deploying. And let's say I build it kind of like the one that we tore up. We're going to put in 2 links, and that ends up with 1 field, and that's going to net me 3,626 AP points. So you can get a good idea of how much you can get out of each individual portal if you're microfielding or you do 1 here, 1 there, something like that. Shielding. Now shielding will tell you how much damage you're going to prevent hitting your resonators, and they call that mitigation. So it mitigates that damage, so it reduces it by a percentage. So if I don't have any mods on there, I'm going to take full damage on all of those resonators when a burster goes off. Let's say that I go in and I put on a common shield. So the common shield gives me a mitigation of 30. Now you notice it also has link mitigation 0. So you can get protection from the number of links that are coming in or going out of that portal. So I don't have any. So my total mitigation is 30. Let's bump that up and we'll put on what they say is an AXA shield. That's an Aegis shield. It's just the same thing, but a name change over time. So that Aegis shield, or AXA, gives me 70% mitigation. So I'm only going to take 30% of the damage. It's going to mitigate 70%. Well, what happens if I throw on, let's throw on a very rare shield with that Aegis shield. Now you notice that the shield mitigation says 130, but if you come down to the total mitigation, it says 95 plus 35. You will never get 100% mitigation. There's no way that you can shield or link mitigate and get more than 95%. So every time they hit you with a burster, it's going to take 5% on your resonators. The plus 35 means that you have 35 over the top, and if you lose it, mostly that's going to be from losing like links. It's going to come down to that 95 and then start to go down. So let's take off our very rare shield, and let's go in and say that we put on 2 links. So you notice that now my shield mitigation is 70. My link mitigation is 28. So my total mitigation is 95 plus 3. So again, I can't go over that 95. So I'm a little about 3 over. This is the best I can do. Now let's say that someone on the other end takes out one of those links. All right, so now my link mitigation is down to 16. My total mitigation is 86. So I'm going to be taking 14% damage every time that they blow one on that portal. So this is a good to figure out how you can protect that particular portal. So, if I'm thinking, why don't I put on 2 Aegis shields? Well, that's kind of overkill because I do that. Yeah, it would be hard. It's going to be harder to get those Aegis shields off because of stickiness. And this doesn't say anything about stickiness. Different shields have different stickiness that makes it harder to get those shields to pop off with a critical attack. But if you're looking at just plain protection, my shield mitigation is 140. I'm wasting 45. So I can probably come up with the same thing with just a pair of very rare shields. And I'm still at 25 over. So let's go with, there you go, a very rare shield and a rare shield. That's 100% shield mitigation, 95 plus 5. So that's about the same, about the best protection I can get. But again, it's going to be easier to blow off or to get to kick off that shield that's rare and the very rare shields. So again, your Aegis will give you that more protection for a longer period of time. But this will give you a good idea of how much you can protect your portal with the shields. Portals. This gives you an idea of how you can build certain level portals and how far you can throw with those portals and the link distances that you can get. So let's say that you're looking at your inventory and you notice that, hey, I'm really low on level 4 resonators, and I need those level 4 resonators. So I know that if I'm hacking a level 4 portal, it's more likely I'm going to get a level 4 resonator. I'll get level 3s, 4s, and 5s, more likely to get the 4s. So what's it take to build a 4? Well, you can go in and you can put in, let's say, an 8 and a 7 and a 6 and a 6. There's a level 3. Let's put on a 5. And there's my level 4 portal. Now notice it doesn't give me any link distance because it's not fully deployed. But that's my level 4 portal, and then I can start hacking that and building up those level 4 resonators and get them in. Well, let's say that I'm going to build this all the way, and I'm a single agent, and it doesn't restrict you. It doesn't say, hey, you're a single agent, you can only put on one level 8. You can put on as many as you want. It doesn't really calculate that. But you notice that I'm up to a 5.125, and I've got 7 of the 8 resonators on. I don't have a link distance. I'll put on my last 4. So I've got an 8, a 7, 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 4 resonators. That gives me a 5.625 portal. Shows up as 5 plus. I can throw 160 kilometers with that. That's without any mods that are on that. Let's say that I'm going to put on 1 rare link amp. So link amps are going to increase the distance that you can throw. You notice that when I put that on there, it came up with a thing called link amp multiplier, 2x. So it took the 160, multiplied it by 2. Now I'm at 320. Let's say instead I'm going to throw on a SoftBank Ultralink, or what they call an Ultralink here. So now I get a 5x multiplier. So now I can throw 800 kilometers from that same portal just because I put on the SoftBank Ultralink. You probably won't see them. They are really rare. But what happens if you throw on a very rare link amp? You get the 7x multiplier. Now you can throw 1,121 kilometers. You can put on multiples. So let's say I've got somebody with me. So we're going to put on 1 of each. So a rare and a SoftBank Ultralink and a very rare. Now I've got 8.5 multiplier, 1,361 kilometers. You can figure out what the maximum throw is. So that would be a level 8 portal. So I'm going to make it all 8s. And again, I'd have to have 8 agents to do this, or if it was during COVID and they allow you to put 2 on, it'd be 4. So now I've got a level 8 portal. My link amp multiplier with 4 very rare link amps is 10.5. 6,881 kilometers is the theoretical maximum that you can throw. It's about 4,275 miles. Just a plain old 8, you can throw 655 kilometers. So you see those link amps make a big difference. One thing that I've noticed, I don't really know what they have with these slides down here, but if you agent level, if you slide it up, it kind of zeroes out all your resonators. So if you're going to do something else, instead of changing them all back to 0, you can slide that up and back and zero stuff out. Link. Now this is kind of a, it talks about a beta calculation. I really don't like this one. I'd like to go back and use the portal. But this is if you have level 8 agents and you're wanting to go a certain distance. Let's say I want to go 2,000 kilometers. I would have to have 2 level 8 agents, and I'd have to slap on 2 ultra S-Bulls, SoftBank Ultra Links, and that would get it out there. Or I can go with 3 agents. So again, it's figuring that 3 agents put on 3 8s and 3 7s, and I get to 2,061. Again, you can look at, I don't have very rare link amps, so you take that off, and then it will say, you've got to use different ones. Or if I don't have a very rare link amp or no SoftBank Ultra Links, I can't make that 2,000. And you'll notice that if I put in my maximum 6881, there's 8 agents, again, 8 level 8 agents, and I'm going to have 4 very rare link amps to make that 6,881.28. If I try to go just that extra, 6882, it says, nope, you can't do that. So really good for, if you're in an anomaly and you've got a bunch of agents, you got a bunch of those 8 agents are around, you can use that to kind of figure things out. Perfect is kind of a calculator to figure out how many links and fields and how much AP you can come up with if you can tell it the kind of number of portals that you have in a boundary and on the internal. So it's not really going to tell you how to throw these, but it's a theoretical. So let's say that I've got 8 portals around the outside, and I've got 12 portals inside the circle that those 8 would make. So it's telling me that I could make 49 links, and I can make 30 fields if I don't layer. If I layer it, I can make 42 fields. My maximum AP without layering is 87,837 AP. Or if I start to layer things, it goes up 102,837. So this is a good kind of rough calculator if you're going to be doing some microfielding and you're going to be putting a lot of fields out there. This can give you an idea of how much AP you could make. Again, it doesn't tell you how to do it, but that's the theoretical that you would end up with. And the last one is cycle. And this is the one that you probably could use when you're in the field and you know that you're going to be running an op, or how long before checkpoint, or when's the end of this cycle. Gives you that information. So right now I'm in cycle 2108, which started on the 23rd of February at midnight, and it's going to end at 7 o'clock in the morning Central Standard Time on March 2nd. And it actually gets down to what is the actual checkpoint. I'm at checkpoint 210825, and it's going to end at 5 a.m. So a lot of good information from ICalc, something that you can use in the field or at home. Plan things out before you get out into the field. And I'm hoping that I see you in the field soon. Agents, bye.